Prime markets across the country to be reopened Tuesday after they were shut down for a massive disinfection exercise as part of measures to limit spread of coronavirus.
They can come and sell their wares. So tomorrow the market will be opened for the public to do their shopping.
Meanwhile, officials say concerns that the disinfectant used could contaminate food items are unfounded.
We are using chlorine as much as we've been told that it's not toxic, but we think that safety measures have to be adhered to.
And though the shutdown of the markets meant lots of business for the day, some of the traders say the weekend sale was more than enough compensation.
It will not even infect me because yesterday, God really, I saw and I get plenty money. Saturday, the market was special. Mame, sika man can't be that. Saturday make ton idea, Papa. Hey.
From across Greater Accra region as well as in the Ashanti region commands. In Parliament, 10 MPs are to go into isolation over fears they may have COVID-19. In business,
local manufacturing firms step up production of hand sanitizers as Ghana fights the spread of COVID-19 will be at Kasapreco's production line.
Plants here at Kasapreco Limited has been solely reserved for the production of hand sanitizers.
Joy News Prime comes to you live from the Joy News studio at Kokom Limited here in Accra with digital address GA0992539, where we're celebrating 25 years of responsible journalism in fulfillment of our role at the fourth estate of the realm. Stay tuned in. Markets across the country were shut on Monday for a special disinfection exercise aimed at limiting the spread of coronavirus. The exercise, which was spearheaded by the local government ministry with collaboration from a special COVID-19 disinfection team, was aided by security officers and took place in the various districts and municipalities. Anodami joined the team in the Ayawaso West Central Municipal Assembly and sent in this report.
The team visited 4 markets in the Ayawaso Central constituency: Malamata, Ayikidi, Alajo, and Tiptoe Lane. Traders had complied with a directive to close their shops. Some, however, gathered in groups to witness the exercise. At the Nima market, a mosque used its megaphone to urge people to stay indoors. A personnel from the ambulance service was seen randomly checking temperature of those who had gathered at the Malamata market. This market leader tells me she's been selling here since 1972 and has never seen such an exercise.
Maton idea wa ha fiti 1972. Ana me market ha. Ti anopa me ti sa omo ye na ese me baby. Na me di mani be hwe na me so me beboa wom.
I have been selling in this market since 1972. And I have never seen such an exercise here before. So I am very happy. That's why I decided to even come over to see how it is done.
Yarea na abano, coronavirus na abano, enunti ena yesre nti ese yeso ye mayen ho kwan ni yesre mayen. Even
if we are told to stay home for 1 week to enable such an exercise to go on in this market, we will all agree. We are so very happy.
Ni yesre mayen. We say yare no enimu akwala na enimu pani nkanka ne yen ya nya 60 ikono yesi yen kura na ekuyen mo nti se wan ma ya anye na se wo so beba bebie na yare ne chiwa enimu obia.
The exercise was also conducted at the Nima and Mamubi markets, all in the Ayawaso East constituency. For Joy News, my name is Hannah Odami.
Justice Beidou was at the Agbogloshi market where he reports the deteriorating sanitation situation in the nation's capital was once again brought to the fore.
These are not ordinary times, and there couldn't be a better place to see that than here, Agbogloshi, Accra's busiest market. The people who are always up from dawn to dusk in its hustle and bustle today left whiling away time.
The last time a shutdown like this in a major market in Accra happened was around 2008. And so for many of the people here, this is like the first time they are seeing something like this. This, which is the Onion Market, on a regular Monday would be a very busy spot. You barely could have a place to even pass because these trucks behind me would just be coming in with onions from all over West Africa, countries like Niger and Mali, making their way into the market with people who have come from all over Accra here to purchase them out of the market.
Inside, city authorities are getting ready for work to disinfect the market in what they say could be a game changer in the country's battle against the spread of COVID-19.
The purpose of this spraying is to sterilize and then destroy the microorganisms that are on the surfaces of the market and the streets that can lead or can act as an agent that will transmit any kind of this virus to somebody unknowingly.
As the drone doing the spraying goes up in the air, out onlookers record the moment with their mobile phones. In the middle of all this, Abobloshi's age-old problem of filth and choked gutters remains and visible from everywhere.
Look at the environment.
This place stinks. This is the market where all the big restaurants from all over Accra come to buy foodstuff, and yet no one cares about sanitation here. This is not safe.
But
the markets are open again for business in 24 hours, and everyone here would be looking forward to what difference today's exercise would make. Justice Baidu, Joy News, Accra.
Well, Accra Mayor Mohamed Ejesoa is debunking via social media claims that Monday's disinfection exercise is to kill rodents instead of protecting sellers against threats of the coronavirus. In an interview with Joy News, he stated the exercise is not part of the routine quarterly spraying to kill mice and cockroaches, but to guard against the virus. Maxwell Agwagba has more from the Central Business District and other markets in Accra where the streets were deserted with no activity.
President Akufo-Addo said we are not in ordinary times. Indeed, if we were in ordinary times, you wouldn't see young men on a weekday like this playing football at this busy part of the Kantamanto market. What you would have seen possibly would be young men holding jeans, holding shoes, holding different kinds of items, selling them and trying to get the attention of potential buyers. But us here, the mayor of Accra.
If a trader is closing for the day, is supposed to cover the words, especially food items. But we re-echoed it. Simply because we are doing disinfection and we are using chlorine, as much as we've been told that it's not toxic, but we think that safety measures have to be adhered to. In the event that we find anywhere open and it's not covered, that will be taken away and it will be seized. So that also must be explained to people for them to understand. The chlorine is killing bacteria and viruses and not rodents and cockroaches. So we will not end up in the day with a lot of rats being killed. The focus and the chemical composition has got its target, is to kill bacteria and then rodents, and that's bacteria and viruses, and that's the focus of this exercise strictly. We should know that this is not a normal fumigation that we do within the market every quarter to make sure that we fumigate the market. This is to kill a virus which is spreading on the surfaces of our body and any other item. So I think that the people of this country and then that of the city dwellers should be assured that we are doing the right thing. And this is a WHO standard protocol that we've been adhered to.
We have the man who is in charge of the military, the section of the military, ensuring that people comply with this directive. Here with us.
Looking at the wide nature and then the spread of the disinfectant, I think we had over 300 soldiers so far, but grouped into smaller numbers, supporting each of the various groups of those doing the spraying, and also covering the various markets in the whole Greater Accra. So a kind of security for the various markets.
The disinfection exercise is also taking place here at the Kaneshie market. A lot of the shops we've seen here, all the shops we've seen here, in fact, have been closed. We find some of the sellers standing on this overhead bridge, just monitoring the disinfection exercise that is going on. But from here, you can see gallons of blue gallons of the disinfectant, you know, in that vehicle parked over there. Some members of the disinfection team also standing closely, going inside there and disinfecting the whole place, the country. Let's get closer and speak to a member of the Accra Sub Metro. He's the director of the Accra Sub Metro. Let's speak to him and find out from him what level we are right now. Chief, you're welcome to join us.
Well, we are looking at the surroundings. We're also looking at the first floor. We can't do the ground floor because there are foodstuffs there. Okay. And so what it means is that we would have to find another day to come and do the ground floor. Because we can't fumigate whilst we have foodstuffs. The chemicals is not good for consumption.
Okay. But I'm sure the market women were informed, so what really happened?
Yes, it's a bit technical because when they move their foodstuff, where do they take them? That's the challenge. So after we finish the first floor, I mean, with approval from the mayor and then EPA, then they will okay the second phase of the exercise where would move the foodstuffs.
The Tuesday market here sees a beehive of activity every weekday, but today is quite different as the market is empty with no activity whatsoever. Just some minutes ago, the disinfection team left here after spraying this market. What we've witnessed here, however, is the different layers of polythene bags the market women have used to protect their wares here. I've been speaking to the head of the Ablekuma South Emergency Response Team here, the head of the ambulance unit here, and he's been explaining to me what their role is in this exercise.
We are supporting the military and the disinfecting team. In case there is any emergency, we are on standby so that we can give medical coverage. Yeah, so that is why we are here.
Okay. So far, have you had? So far, has there been a situation where you'd have to be called in to provide any of that?
Oh, currently everything is cool. We went around and with the team whilst they were doing the fumigation through Agbogloshi, and then some of the team have gone to the other sector, and then we have come back to complete the disinfection in Tuesday market here now.
Well, the Malem Market King is pleading with the Municipal Assembly to fast-track the construction of 40 sheds to help decongest the market. This, he says, is to control and possibly prevent the spread of diseases similar to the coronavirus. The traders currently perch under umbrellas dotted along the pavements there to trade. They were, however, all compelled to shut down to allow for the disinfection exercise. Nancy Emefa-Dozie has more in this report.
A group of 15 men in green apparel, helmet and nose mask arrive at the Malem market at 6:30 on Monday morning.
One group, 10, maybe 15.
Each of them carry a spraying can ready to work. The team had traveled from several parts of the country to help fight the coronavirus. Even before we start, Environmental Officer Harriet Okreko explained the disinfection was mainly to fight the bacteria and viruses in the market.
The spraying is going on all the tables that they use in the market, in and around the market. We're spraying all to make sure the virus and the bacteria here are really attacked.
The team, including Zoomlion workers, walked through the market and began to spray. After spraying the entire market in 40 minutes, the team, though tired, were excited. The Mala Market King, Nat Belmont, promised he was going to ensure the completion of 40 sheds to decongest the market to prevent any spread of the virus or bacteria.
Yes, it's something we are doing very urgently so that all those tables you are seeing and those containers and everything, I think on this thing that we are standing on, so that all the traders in the Mala market can get a place. They are going to do the pavement here all and bring electricity or other social amenities here. That will help the traders to do their business.
The Municipal Environmental Officer Daniel Atinsa says education was not ending soon.
Some people come to buy, they stand just close to the food and they talk, and we know all this is droplets. Sometimes some people come and even see to touching and all that. So we want to make measures to see that all those things are put in.
How would we do it? Because it's like a normal setting in our market.
Yes, it's a national thing that we are battling. So we are taking measures. Education will go. We'll have officers at various points, to be looking at those things.
Throughout our visit, shops at Malam, Odoko, Dakuman and Malamata Market were closed, a sign of total compliance to the directives.
Also, Municipal Chief Executive of Tema, Felix Nyanangla, is confident coronavirus will not venture market in Tema following the disinfection exercise there. Mamese Nyamisha Thompson covered the spraying exercise there for Joy News.
The exercise started at 10 a.m. after a 4-hour delay from deployment teams, but when work finally started, it sailed smoothly. The Community 1 market, covering 24 acres of land, was biggest. The team had to deploy a drone, fogger and sweepers to do justice to the congested market. Leading the exercise is General Manager of the Tema branch of Simlion, Seth Apia Okran.
The drone is going to spray all the lorry stations. We have the Community 5 lorry station, we have the Kasuma lorry station, and then there's one around the main station. It's going to spray these areas. And after these areas, it will move to Ashama to spray some lorry stations in Ashama too. We are adding the Community 1 main station to lorry station to this exercise. Basically a bit of chlorine. That's why we don't want people to be around. Immediately we spray, they should stay away a little while. But also that it's only a day's work. After today, tomorrow they can go back to the market or wherever to sell.
Sweepers had to enter every nook and cranny of the market to ensure that all germs are wiped out before the market traders return to sheds tomorrow. Felix Nyanangla is MCE.
He's going to prevent it from spreading. And two, this is an exercise. I told you this is not going to be fixed and lies. It will continue. I told you on Thursday we have educated the market queens and how to manage themselves in the market. It is not only about fumigation, you know. You yourself, you know. You have to wash your hand every time. You have to sanitize. You have to do all that you need to do. Once again, I want to let you know that this virus is not a joke. And the media has a role to play. You also have to come in and assist.
Others, including Communities 9, 8, 7, Fishing Harbour and Tema Newtown, were wiped clean. Here is Sub-Metro Chair of Tema East, Joshua Ashiti.
The Fishing Harbour, European Market, the main station, which is Abu Muso, the Lolly Station, and now we are at Galas Market. And so far, the Zumlawa people are doing well. I mean, the spraying is going on well. We are happy of that because our town is a little bit fifth. So with this exercise, we believe help by, crashing this viral issue.
Greater Accra Regional Minister Ishmael Ashti hopes the exercise is done religiously.
I'm saying that the exercise is a very good exercise. It has got a tendency of, like I said, reducing illnesses, not only coronavirus, other illnesses. I advise the MCE of Ashama, and I will advise this one here too, that they should not take it as a one-time exercise.
Traders are expected back to the market tomorrow to start off on a fresh note. They are expected to follow strict hygienic rules when they return.
We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, but still ahead in Parliament, 10 MPs are to go into isolation over fears they may have COVID-19. Now, the number of members of Parliament under self-quarantine as a result of coronavirus fears has risen to 10. The latest 8 add to the 2 who Majority Leader Osechi Mensah-Bonsu announced would have to self-quarantine when they return from their trips abroad. Speaker Professor Michael Quay, while addressing journalists Monday on measures being taken to keep Parliament safe from the virus, would however not disclose the names of the additional 8.
There is a mandatory self-quarantine of MPs and staff who have traveled outside the country or who are returning to the country. A number of people went abroad to do very legitimate business, but the circumstances of the time are such that as they return, we need to take certain measures. They are not punitive. They are protective of themselves, their families, and Parliament and its guests and workers and members as a whole. As we are speaking now, 10 members of Parliament who travel abroad in these circumstances have been asked to stay in self-isolation for the mandatory number of days. 5 members of staff who also went abroad and came back have been asked to do the same. This is for the protection of all the people here.
Minority MPs, meanwhile, on Monday, walked out of Parliament after the Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak accused the Speaker of lawlessness for refusing to hold proceedings over a lack of quorum. The House was considering the Corporate Insolvency Bill with only about 60 of the 275 MPs. With the 60 MPs unable to form the required quorum, Muntaka Mubarak had wanted the Speaker to hold proceedings. He interrupted proceedings with an outburst after the Speaker refused to recognize him. Majority Leader Osechi Mensah-Bonsu described the Minority Chief Whip's action as unfortunate. Now, what do you do on a holiday you rarely have? That was the dilemma for onion sellers in the Agbogloshie market here in Accra as government shutdown for markets kicked in Monday. My colleague Justice Beidou, who covered the spraying exercise for us, came across one group that turned to Hausa telenovelas as they whiled away time.
Agbogloshie's hustle and bustle runs on the shoulders of these men. On any day, they are the ones who carry foodstuff, mainly onion, arriving in the market from one point to the other. But today, a Monday of all days, is a holiday for them. The market is on a lockdown for a disinfection exercise, and to while away time, they are glued to a telenovela translated into their native Hausa language.
Social movie or managing a junjun coffin. They are moving baby and China film or India film so films different. But I'm presiba film na amuka amuchi amu asam na amutia anachi ana ausa ombe presi or na amushe station.
There is no beer. That is why we be drinking all the beer.
Whilst at it, they brew hot tea made from Mediterranean herbs, which they say gives unrivaled strength and even sexual enhancement. The levels needed for the kind of tough job they do every day.
We enjoy drinking tea. In fact, we've been enjoying it back in Niger, even before we got into Ghana. Drinking it makes us happy, and it also makes us strong. We enjoy drinking it.
This may be depressing times for many dealing with the news of COVID-19's spread. But it is not all doom and gloom, at least for the onion workers of Agbogloshi. Justice Bedu, join me.
That is why we be drinking all the beer. For when will the onion rise so heavy?
You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break. We have business coming up. Do stay tuned in. It's time for business, and Daryl Kwa. Say hello, Daryl.
Hi, Israel, and there's good news for those in search of hand sanitizers.
Which
are you one of those?
Supposedly had run short?
Yes, but the question is if indeed the prices will go down if we have a glut.
Okay.
Well, Casapreco is one of the companies that has heeded to the calls by President Akufo-Addo to produce hand sanitizers amid the coronavirus outbreak. The beverage manufacturing company says its products will be cheaper than what's on the market. Charles Aite visited the production line and our reports.
This production plant here at Casapreco Limited has been solely reserved for the production of hand sanitizers. Watch closely. These hand sanitizers are not the jelly ones that we do know of, but these are purely liquid hand sanitizers, alcohol-based hand sanitizers. You can see the massive production going on here, and this is to ramp up the shortage that has hit the nation amid the coronavirus outbreak. We have been interacting with the CEO of Casapreco Limited on the reason behind these mass production and, of course, the prospects in terms of how best this could help mitigate the coronavirus outbreak.
Casapreco decided to step in, halt spirits production, and produce hand sanitizers for the market to prove that local manufacturers can step in and support the government fight this virus. As you know, the coronavirus is a national concern, and certainly is going to affect businesses in the short term. But for us, certainly, if it does affect businesses in the long term, it's certainly going to affect our business big time. So for us, we believe that producing hand sanitizers to save the nation now is better than not doing anything at all.
This production line at Casapreco has halted manufacturing of beverages to give way for the mass production of hand sanitizers.
We are producing this with WHO specs. So we put in the alcohol, the peroxide, and gel. Okay. Yeah, I said the glycerin. You know, with this product, when you put in like gel or something, it reduces the life of the antimicrobial properties. That's why we do not put in the gel and the fragrance as well.
The panic buying of hand sanitizers has left a national shortage of the essential products amid the coronavirus pandemic. From pharmacies to retail outlets, these alcohol-based wraps are in high demand, leading to price fixing and profiteering.
I caught up with the commercial director of Casapreco Limited in the person of Gerald Bonsu to help us understand how much of a regulation this particular product is going to undertake in the coming days.
We are not looking at the profitability. What we are looking at is to make sure that everybody, every consumer of our product, or everybody that works with that, get onto these hand sanitizers so that, we can fight this virus coming up in this country. Distributors that we deal with, they know the value chain for the hand sanitizer. So we sell to them at a certain price. They are also going to sell at a certain price for them to make a small margin out of it. So, whoever they also sell to, they should also ensure that they tell them how to sell every bottle that they sell, so that we don't have people abusing the system by selling at high price to make more money.
With 200,000 bottles of hand sanitizers produced by Casapreco Company Limited, managers are hopeful that this could even help in mitigating the transmission of the COVID-19 through basic hand hygiene in mitigating the effects of the COVID-19 in the short to medium term. I'm Charles Ayete for Joy Business.
Now, the Registrar General's Department, as part of measures to contain the deadly coronavirus, has urged the general public and clients to make use of the online services provided. This follows a directive issued by the head of civil services for staff of state institutions to put in measures to decongest offices. The department also shut its offices to business to avoid the harmful impact of today's disinfection exercise in the Greater Accra region. Here's a report filed by Ebenezer Sabute.
Many institutions have taken steps to reduce the number of staff and clients who may come into contact with each other on a daily basis. The move is part of a quest to contain the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus, which has been declared as a global pandemic. Following this, the Registrar General's Department is intensifying the campaign for clients to make use of the online registration system, which has been provided as part of government's digitization program. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Public Relations at the Registrar General's Department, Constance Adumartechi said the use of the online service has become critical at the moment since the staff strength has been reduced.
Use the online platforms if you have to do renewal or if you have to do new registration. You should use the online platform. The Office of Head of Civil Service on Friday also brought out a directive that we make provision for flexible working arrangements for staff. As a result, we have embarked on a rotational system. So even today, if we had worked, we're working with half of the staff strength. Half of the people are to go home for a week, and then when the other half returns, then the other half resumes.
She also said the Registrar General's Department will be making an improvement on its payment systems to enhance transactions by next month.
Yes, it can be done, even though we are working to improve on the payment system as we have currently. But we are not done yet. We're hoping that by April, when we are moved onto the GOG payment platform for all the service providers, we'll have a more robust payment platform, which will also ease the numbers that throng here.
Would that include Momo or any other payment platform?
Currently, yes, we are taking Momo as part of the online payment platform. Okay. But sometimes there are challenges with because it's been run by NITA, sometimes some of the payments do hang, but others too are able to get through. But it's because of those unforeseen challenges that we want to kind of strengthen the payment platform and then have it so that all these difficulties that some other clients do experience may be a thing of the past. Just want to create some level of convenience and comfort for them.
Ebenezer Sabute's report for Joy Business.
So a number of institutions are taking steps to stop the spread of the coronavirus in Ghana. We have details next in our local news summaries.
COVID-19 as a pandemic by the World Health Organization (WHO) and Ghana recording 24 cases, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has decided to suspend all port tours by schools and organizations with immediate effect. It is also liaising with shipping agents to identify all high-risk vessels that may be coming into the country for the necessary precautionary actions to be taken. The Ghana Interbank Payments and Settlement Systems Limited (GIPS) has waived off charges on electronic payment services used by its partner financial service providers. This initiative is in collaboration with banks, fintechs, and mobile money operators across the country. According to GIPS, the suspension of charges is in line with the measures outlined by the Central Bank of Ghana to contain the impact of coronavirus pandemic on the Ghanaian economy.
Well, next, our Joint Business will be speaking to the CEO of Delex Finance, Ken Thompson, why he thinks the policy rate cut announced by the Bank of Ghana is not enough. That's it for business for now. You're watching Joy News Prime.
Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Our leader of Open Arms Ministries in Kumasi Apostle Kofi Nkansa Sarkodie and his church administrator Kofi Nkansa Sr. have been granted bail by the Asukwa District Court. They pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of unlawful assembly of offensive conduct in breach of Section 202 of the Criminal Offences Act of 1960. The 2 were arrested on Sunday for flouting the presidential directive on public gathering as part of measures to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Ohim Interior was in court and has filed this report.
Pastor Nkansa Sarkodie had earlier last week been arrested and granted bail for the same offense. He and his administrator were granted 10,000 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties each to reappear on Wednesday. Also in court was head pastor of True to Heaven Ministries at Aprabo Dompase, Apostle Moses Degenu Ametepe, and 5 others for similar offense. Their plea was not taken by the court, presided over by Her Worship Mariama Efia Asante. She also advised prosecution led by Chief Superintendent Kofi Blagoji to amend the charge sheet for all 6. They were subsequently granted 10,000 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties each to reappear on March 26, 2020. Counsel for the accused, John Brefo, appealed to the court to grant them bail since the offense is bailable. He later told journalists he will wait for prosecution to amend the charge sheet.
I think it's too early, especially since there's going to be an amendment to the charge sheet. Yes, so it's too early. The magistrate has given the prosecution a hint as to what they must do with respect to the charge. So I believe by next agenda they will have amended the charge. We're coming back on Thursday, 26th.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimi Ntibia reporting.
Staying in Kumasi, market women who want government to intensify anti-coronavirus education in farming and other rural communities to reduce threat of food insecurity. Central Market Queen Nana Yafoiwa says any potential spread of the disease to such areas will have dire consequences for productivity. She spoke when the Ministry of Local Government presented Veronica buckets and other personal hygiene equipment to Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies in Kumasi. Nana Jima has more in the following report.
According to the Market Queen, interaction with farmers in their line of trade have revealed many farmers have little knowledge about the virus and its danger. She says making information available to all sections of the society is crucial, admitting even people in the cities are yet to fully understand the precautions. She says, we are pleading with you to sensitize the farming communities as well. The yam, plantain and tomato producing areas. They are the people who keep us in business. Disinfection of market centers and other public places, which began in Accra on Monday, will be replicated across the country. Ahead of that, hand-washing material supply to local assemblies come in handy in advancing the fight against the spread of the virus. Collins Intim is Deputy Minister for Local Government.
The intention is to target about 1,000 markets across the length and breadth of our dear country, and we are going to support all the Metropolitan Municipal Assemblies with the necessary immediate relevant logistics like Veronica buckets. In Ashanti region, we are supplying 4,500 pieces of Veronica bucket. We are supplying 4,500 metal stands, 4,500 cartons of soap, 4,500 cartons of plastic basket, 4,500 cartons of tissues, 4,500 packets of hand sanitizers, and in addition, we are providing 45,000 pieces of face masks, all in attempt to position our various metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies in a way that they'll be able to address and then reach out to their respective market, give them the necessary sensitization, attentions, and the logistics to be able to contain the situation.
We're taking a break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned in. Necessity, they say, is the mother of invention. That expression has been given meaning by 40-year-old fashion designer Augusta. Following a shortage and high demand for nose masks to prevent infections from coronavirus, Augusta has been sharing with my colleague Latif Idris how she got inspired to create washable nose masks made from African prints.
The coronavirus pandemic continues to sweep across the world with a trail of disruption in its wake. The virus is not just sending people to their early graves, it is also derailing the global economy. But in the midst of this same upside-down world, a lady here in Tema Community 22 is getting innovative and smart. The coronavirus pandemic has dealt a big blow to businesses globally. Under a small canopy in Tema Community 22, Augusta has started making fashionable nose masks. Aside profit, she has another motive for starting this business.
I had a dream concerning this virus, and then I just prayed a usual dream. I prayed and then I forgot it until the news keep on coming. So because I love doing what I love to do, I was thinking of doing something to help Ghanaians, because most of the cover nose we are using, the mask we are using, they are imported.
Nose masks are mainly imported. The surge in the coronavirus pandemic meant automatic shortfall in demand for the product. Augusta tells me she's inspired to make up for the deficit by locally producing the reusable nose masks.
And I was thinking of using something that is of our own African print, that have two lining inside that you can actually wash, and also use other things that will help maybe kill the virus or the bacteria out of it. You re-iron it and you can use it.
But Augusta is not an expert in nose mask production. Aside the fashionable nature of the mask, she has limited knowledge about its effectiveness. Would you also consider getting input from, say, an expert in exactly the lining, the texture and everything that you need to perfect this product? Would you want to get that?
Thank you very much. I would really want to welcome that, because it is also about us as Ghanaians. So any expert, anybody who have any idea of what to be done, I'm just here. I welcome everything that they bring on board to make it a standard product.
Nose masks have, without a doubt, become one of the essential personal protective equipment required to prevent the spread of the deadly COVID-19. If you run out and you need one of the supplies for personal protection, you may just reach out to Augusta, like I'm doing right now, for one of the nose masks to stay safe and prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Latif Idris reporting for Joy News.
The management of the Volta Lake Transport Company has provided Veronica buckets with liquid soap for commuters who use the ferry at the Oti River banks to wash their hands before getting on board. Commuters were seen washing their hands with their items provided when Joy News visited the Dambai landing site Monday morning. Some commuters have been speaking to Joy News on what they know about the disease.
Regular washing of hands, using hand sanitizers, covering the nose with the nose masks, then washing hands after visiting the public toilet.
Okay, and you think those ones will help us? But you are not doing any of this. You are not doing any of this.
But the moment I left here, I'll try and get the place.
All right. So
The coronavirus. You have been asked to.
okay. But did you also wash your hand before you entered?
Yes, please.
And you have covered your nose. You think it's safe? Okay. But you don't have sanitizer, or do you have?
I'm using Spirit.
Spirit. Can I see it? You gave it to someone? Okay.
And we wash our hands to prevent ourselves from these corona diseases because it can affect anyone and the movement. So washing our hands also is vital for preventing the coronavirus. And it's good for everybody, all Ghanaians to wash their hands to wherever they go because we are from far places.
As the fight to halt the spread of coronavirus in Ghana takes a new turn this week, we put the spotlight on corporate organizations helping Ghanaians comply with the preventive measures announced by health professionals. At our health desk, Fred Smith visited the Legon Mall here in Accra, where companies operating from them have joined forces to set up a hand washing bay. And guess what? For the entire community to help halt the spread of the deadly virus.
The hand washing bay, there are already people who are washing their hands here before they enter the shops around. I'll go there and have my hands washed and interact with some of them. So I turn on the tap, wet my hands a bit, and then get the soap. Okay, so there's enough soap for me and anyone else who come here. This bay has about 10 sinks that people can wash their hands at a time, so 5 on each row. They also have a bin where you dispose of any tissue that you use. So when I'm done, I'm going to wipe off the water. Okay, a little rinsing. Okay, and then I can dispose of in the bin. I find some people already washing their hands there.
I came to Tex Beauty shop and I found this here, and which is really attractive and very good. And I think I would recommend to any mall, market, and even the government to try and do some of this in at various places so that it will be very convenient for people to try and wash their hands and be protected.
How worried have you been about the spread of the coronavirus?
Very, very worried. Very, very worried because we never expected it here until we started having some 2 cases. That was last week. We have to do this thing more in the country or in the city so that people can be washing their hands very well.
There's another lady here who's washing her hands busily.
I came to the EPP book to purchase some books for my company.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I came and then I realized there was something wonderful going on here. So they ushered me to wash my hands here before I entered the bookshop. So here I am.
Were you worried before you visit here about coronavirus?
I was really worried. And I'm so scared right now. When I'm going out, I'm even scared because I have to pick Uber from home to wherever I go to. I am just so scared, and I'm hoping for the best, and I believe it will go down. I'm so sure about it.
So I'm here with a management member for one of the companies that put together this facility. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Emma Wura, and I'm with EPP Book Services. Simply, it's for public safety. As you all know, we are not in times where we are all happy. Corona is with us. It has brought a lot of fear. And 4 companies, National Express, EPP Books, Zealand Fun World, and Tesbury Foods and Supermarket came together to provide a hand washing facility here so that the public can wash their hands as they come and shop. We want them to keep safe. We want them to live long. We don't want anybody to contact the coronavirus. Actually, if you are driving towards Medina or going to town and you feel you have not washed your hands in a long while, just come, park, come down and wash your hands before you continue your journey. We just want to make sure that citizens are safe.
This is a wonderful innovation, one that I recommend to all corporate institutions in Ghana to also take a cue from.
All right, we're taking a break to bring you more business. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the news. We have some more business news for you. Tonight, the Chief Executive of Delex Finance, Ken Thompson, has described the rate cut by the Bank of Ghana as not enough to deal with the liquidity challenges in the banking and non-bank sectors. In a surprise move last week, the Monetary Policy Committee of the bank cut its policy rate by 150 basis points in a bid to support the economy. Here's Chief Executive of Delex Finance, Ken Thompson, speaking to my colleague Philip Namfuri.
Unfortunately, our central bank is in a bit of a tight spot, especially since we're coming just out of money being provided to support financial institutions that collapsed. So it's not able to do as much as probably it should. And I don't think those that are there are not mindful of the things that need to do. Because what we need is liquidity. So unless you provide liquidity, you haven't started. I mean, let's go through some of the things they've tried to do. They've reduced the monetary policy rate. That monetary policy rate has no bearing on real interest rates. The government itself is borrowing at about 20%. So at the worst possible case, I'll give my money to the government. They've reduced some reserves that the commercial banks are allowed to hold. So technically, the commercial banks have more money to lend. Commercial banks never lend to SMEs. They never will lend to my barber. They'll never lend to my watch seller. They won't. They never did. They will never will. They are not interested. They don't have the capacity to do it. So if really you want to lend to those people, you need to write to institutions that are one step below. Institutions like yours? Yes, maybe finance companies, savings and loans companies, microfinance companies. That's, if you really want to help those at the bottom who are the most vulnerable, then that's where the money should go. But I also don't think that we have the infrastructure, and we'll come to, I mean, while we are suffering from this a lot, we don't have the infrastructure to be able to transmit the money to the institutions and monitor. That's the problem. So the central bank's in the bind. A, it doesn't have a lot of money. B, there's no infrastructure to do it. Who do you give it to? How do you track them? Who are they? We don't even have an ID system. We don't have an address system. You take a case to court, it takes 5, I've got cases in court that have taken 7 years. 7 years in court! And of course you're going to suffer for it. So they are trying, but coming off the back of this banking crisis, where they have to provide liquidity, on top of this, it's a problem. What the economy needs is liquidity. If you take economies all over the world, and of course, we've got to use example what people have done, is in some countries, they're actually paying up to 80% of the wages of vulnerable employees. In America, they're going to as far as giving everybody $1,000 check. Why? They want to make people spend. That's the challenge. That is a challenge. Or, you pump money into the system. But unless you provide liquidity, it's a non-starter.
Now, as the world continues to grapple with the spread of the coronavirus, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, has reviewed its working policy. The new limited working policy, according to the GIPC, is in line with the President's directives to curtail the spread of the virus in the country. Chief Executive Yofi Grant spoke about the new measures to protect staff but ensure continuity of work.
We must all admit that these are very unusual times, and the arrival of the coronavirus has virtually disrupted our lives and the way we work. So accordingly, at GIPC, we've also had to adjust our working patterns in consonance with the directions and directives given by the President and the Ghana Health Service, which we believe are in the right direction. Our working hours have been curtailed quite some. And if you do have any urgent inquiries that you need to do relating to your investments, you may please reach us by phone. Or if you do have any forms that you need to fill at the GIPC that are essential and critical at this time, we request that you go to our reception where we will provide you with some service. But we are engaged in limited working hours. At this moment, our priority is to save lives and prevent the spread of the virus. We do care about our staff, and we do care a lot about those who come to us. We hope that in maintaining these hours, we will definitely avoid adding to the catastrophe that has been brought by the coronavirus.
And on the commodity market, we are keeping our eyes on crude oil. Take a look at how trading went today.
Thank you for staying with us on Joy News Prime. I'm Gary Al Smith with the sport. Now, in the wake of COVID-19, as you may have heard, Italy has passed the 6,000 death mark. More than 6,000 people have died in Italy now. And as always, we are concerned about the Ghanaian element in there. This afternoon, I spoke to Kwejo Asamoah, and Nathaniel Ato also spoke to him. And he says that Ghanaians must not take COVID-19 lightly.
Every day I try to follow up to see what is going on, and I've seen in Ghana every day we've been having cases. The cases have been increasing every day, 2 or 3, and I think it's something that we should try and then prevent now, because it can be very dangerous. Because here, when we had those cases, people didn't take it very seriously because they were thinking it was just a flu. They were being told to stay home, but people didn't want to. A lot of people were still going to the bar to have drinks. People were still going out for dinner in the evening, although it wasn't as normal that we see here in Milan. But people, but now that we have cases that we can't even solve now, because now things have get out of hand, like we can't do anything about it. So in Ghana, I think we can prevent it now, since we don't have a lot of cases.
His club teammate is Romelu Lukaku, and Romelu has also been speaking about the disruptions to regular life that COVID-19 has brought. Don't forget that they were angling to win the Serie A title this season. Right now, it's all up in the air.
Today you're rocking a dabbing Mona Lisa?
This is Mona Lisa, she's dabbing. How long you had to stay inside for now?
Now it's been 9 days now.
You've been in for 9 days?
Yeah. 8, 9 days, yeah.
What do you do? So you're doing some gym work, surely?
Yeah, they got me a bike, because the players that have, because obviously in Milan, like, all the players live in the city center. So small apartments and stuff. So I didn't have space. So they yesterday in the group chat, they said they asked the players like, who doesn't have a bike or treadmill at the house? So they all like loads of players were like, me. The next, like 2 hours later, they brought every player a bike.
That's amazing. How do you feel?
So now, sorry?
How do you feel though? You feel okay?
Yeah, I mean, I just miss like just the regular life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Being with my mom, being with my son, even being with my brother. Just, people outside. I mean, I'm thinking about everybody, man. Like, it's bad because, you can't have normal contact with the human being. I miss training. I miss playing games in front of fans. Like, now you start appreciating what you have.
Yes. This is when you think to yourself, you know something? I'm pretty lucky guy.
Yeah, I'm a lucky guy.
Pretty lucky
and
guy.
I think, you know me, you know my background better than anybody else. So for me, like, right now it's just like, it makes me rethink about what I was going through when I was a kid.
Yes. Because you're there for 9 days now. What are you watching, man? What are you watching on the flicks?
Right now on the flicks, I have to finish Power, man. I haven't finished Power.
You haven't finished Power?
Bro,
you see, I saw some of Power, man, but I thought...
The Power is something that we can relate.
Yeah. I get that.
I want to watch something that we can relate.
Have you seen Top Boy? What about Top Boy?
Yeah, I watched Top Boy, man. Shout out to those people of Top Boy, man. Yeah. I watched Top Boy.
What's good about Top Boy is that it's real. Did you ever see Gomorrah? Oh my
Gomorrah,
God.
the mafia thing.
Yeah, in Napoli.
No, I haven't watched it. No, I haven't watched it. This is the thing. I watch TV, but then when I'm chilling, like all the players now, all the football players, they're online on the PlayStation right now.
Very interesting listening to Kojo Asamoah and then his teammate Romelu Lukaku there. I bet you didn't know Romelu had a son. He just dropped it on all of us in that interview. Anyway, still going on the COVID-19 pandemic, the Millennium Chairman, they call him Harry Zakor in real life, he's urging Ghanaians, you watching, to adhere to safety protocols.
Well, people have to be very careful, you have to be washing your hands, you know what I mean? It's been, I couldn't believe it. My fathers used to say in the 40s they had war. But you see, God will not create war this time, people to die. But God has turned it up in a different way, but it's not going to be long. Let's cross our fingers, pray everybody. And I know the president is working hard. Careful, stay at home, keep away about 2 meters away from each person you talk to. And, Dettol, soap, everything is there. Wash your hands even when you are going to eat. See what you are eating, what you are doing. May God bless us, and may God take this away from us.
Good way to end the sports. Thank you very much for your time. And tomorrow we have more happening around the world. Obviously, it's going to be about COVID-19. And stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize. You know the drill. I'm Gary Al Smith with the sport.
And that'll be all for the bulletin. I'm Israel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. We have our Hotline documentary coming up next.